I think we all handled breakups differently. For the most part, I mean, I know a lot of friends who went through pretty clean breakups, surprisingly, where it was just, yeah, let's cut it off and leave it there. And those, for the most part, still work out fine for them. They don't really bring it up often about how much they miss their ex or how badly it broke off and everything. And so I figured when I went into my first, I want to say I've had 3 serious girlfriends in my life. I'm on my third right now, so you can see how good I am at this relationship thing. Mom and pop's really bringing me up right. But I've had three relationships, and one of them felt like it broke off clean. That was a middle school relationship, so that's what that was. But my first high school relationship is probably my first instance of really experiencing a bad breakup. I don't know if you've ever been cheated on before. If you have, it's horrible, and I never thought I would experience that actually. Going into this relationship, who I will remain anonymous. The time it happened will also remain anonymous. You can put it, I guess you can put it right in between my first and the current relationship I'm in, which has been going for about 15 months now. But yeah, that second relationship, the super serious one that I felt, that was the bad one. Not to say that the whole relationship was bad, because I don't want to put a detriment on that person, whether they or anyone in close relation to them is watching this, which I kind of doubt. But keeping this as anonymous is going to be really hard, because it's kind of a story time video. Names are kind of crucial to the thing, but I'll do my best. So yeah, being cheated on sucks, and that's definitely true. Being in a toxic relationship sucks too. Most toxic relationships seem to be a one-way street, but in this case, it felt to me at least that it was more of a two-way street of just bad circumstances, immaturity, bad home lives, kind of meeting together into this cauldron of kind of an unlucky circumstance. And right now, I know for a fact that we're both in way better places, and I am so happy for that, and they are as well. But that doesn't deter from the fact that this relationship definitely ended on a bad foot. Whoops. Whoops again. I would say it went for about 9 months, and after the third instance of some racial relational tampering with other parties, it was kind of called quits there, and that was definitely, that was rough. The thing went strong for about 5 months there. I want to say a good 5 months spread across the entirety of the timeline. I don't want to, it wasn't linear. It was like 2 months, 2 good months, a good month, a few good days. So I would say in total about 5 good months out of the 9 months that it was going for. And those, when you think back to an ex and how it broke off, you really try and I find more that I look at the good as opposed to the bad, and that's not always the worst aspect of it. Yeah, we had some pretty rough patches there, and yeah, it was really bad at points, but I like to think that it ended on a decent note, as time heals all wounds kind of type thing. But yeah, it was fuck it. I'll just go with some dates. So June 2017 is when the cutoff point was, and we all, when we have a bad breakup, it seems to just be hate on hate, and just fear on fear, or something among those lines, or just depression, or just sadness amongst both parties. But in this instance, it was more just ghosting. It was kind of weird, and I definitely think that's probably the worst way you could handle a breakup with that. I'm realizing as time goes on that closure is something that definitely should be taken into account when something like that cancels out. And yeah, so June 2017 was the time I would say that it was cut off. And at this time, a couple of my colleagues and I, some of my friends, were at Silverwood, which is this kind of this shitty theme park in Idaho. And I don't know, just thinking back to this and kind of reconciling with it all, and putting myself back into that mind state while I'm filming a YouTube video in December of 2018 is kind of weird, to be completely honest. It's definitely a vulnerability of mine that I don't allow a lot of people into. I mean, obviously, if people ask, I'm not just gonna be a total spurg about it and hide it as violently as possible. But it's definitely something that I don't think about too often, but when I do think about it, it's like it's just a lot of emotions kind of being processed at the same time, like happiness, sadness, melancholy, just all of these at the same time. And right now, especially, it's like the holidays just passed, and all this camaraderie and all of this friendship and family all coming together and all of that happening. It just puts me back into that mind state of, okay, I'm gonna go way back and just imagine my last few Christmases and my last few like holidays. And it's hard to go through those and not think about the people that you were involved with and think about all the time that had passed and how some of those people are still in your life, some of them are just gone. The relationships are just changed, things are just different, and to an extent it makes me really happy, honestly. Like, to think about last winter, I was still with my current girlfriend, and everything was just so fresh and new, and it felt so like on cloud nine. But I would prefer this Christmas so much to that because of just the comfort level and the sameness that came with that. And similarly, when I think back to the Christmas that I spent with that other person, it's just, of course, that was a pretty rough time, but I processed the good and the bad at the same time on parallels where it's like I separate them, but they're also, in the same kind of aspect. And it's just, I don't know. So this doesn't really feel like a storytime video. It's more of just like a video diary, which I didn't really think I would be doing at any point, especially not like right now. But yeah, I figured I would get this out there and just talk about breakups. Hopefully this can be like a little bit of a think piece type thing where anybody that watches this and has similar experiences can kind of relate to an extent and feel the same kind of vibe. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna end this one. Let me know if you've had any bad breakups. I'm sure we have all had bad breakups at some point. If you haven't, you definitely will. Well, I don't know that for a fact. I mean, you could have a great. I mean, you could luck out and be like, Marshall and Lily from How I Met Your Mother and just not date anybody until college and then meet your wife and husband. That's not really all it seems chalked up to be, now that I think about it. But I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm going to end this here. Let me know if you've had a bad breakup. If you have, I'm sorry. If you haven't, good luck.